guys, it's Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're in my car. It is hot as balls in here, and I honestly am in my car because I didn't want to set up my lights. I just didn't want to put my lights up to film a video when it's so beautiful outside. So we're in my car. We're actually in my passenger seat of my car. Here is my driver's seat. This is where I see. Look at the wheel. Today we're talking about my coaching because I get a lot of questions about my coaching, and I think this was a perfect time to do a video. Also, I have a moving camera. That's why it's following me. It's tracking me. I think this would be a perfect time to do the video because I'm about to do a 50% off site-wide sale for April 18th to the 22nd. Is that right? I think it's the 22nd or the 24th. I don't know. It's on the screen right here. I'm doing a 50% off sale for the entire site because I want people to be able to get my coaching and try it out, even if they don't necessarily are in the place where they can pay for coaching whenever they need it. But I want to help as many people as I can, so I'm doing a 50% off sale. I thought this would be a perfect time to film this video because a lot of you might not even know what happens in my coaching, and I want you guys to know. So I made an entire list. This is my journal of all my video ideas. I wrote it all down in my little handy dandy trusted notebook, and we're gonna go over it. The way that you book coaching is through my Calendly site. So it's right here. It's always in the top link of my description, and there it will tell you, it'll list out all of my coaching, my sessions, my replies. You will just pick the one, and it gives a little overview on what it is, what it does, what you'll want to do. And I only accept PayPal as of right now because Calendly only accepts that, and also it's easier to, if I'm being honest, file taxes when I'm only using one like payment method. So as of right now, I only use PayPal, and it's set up through my Calendly. So you pay on my website, and then I believe you get sent a little notification saying, hey, here's your session, and all the sessions are done on my coaching account, Hyler Coaching. But I also just wanted to quickly add that. So the way that my coaching works, so I offer sessions and I offer replies. So we're gonna go in depth on both of those, and there's going to be different sections to this video to explain all of them. But first, we're going to start off with sessions. Sessions are done through Instagram DM and voice note. I do not do call sessions. A lot of people will get the coaching even though I put it in the website in all bold, in all caps. This is not a call. People will still expect it to be a call when the coaching session starts. So it is not a call. I do not offer call sessions as of this point. I just personally think I can give it better advice when I'm not put on the spot because I do have social anxiety, and it is difficult for me to just have a conversation and be my authentic self and without like worries. And I don't know, you know, like I give better advice when I'm able to be like, hey, let me read that, let me think about it, let me do it. And I can do that very quickly, but I don't have the pressure of I'm on a call right now. So that's why I do not offer calls. Maybe in the future I will. So sessions are done through Instagram DM and voice note, and it is done on my coaching account on Instagram, which is at Hyler Coaching. So after you book a session or get replies from me, you will go and request this account, and all the coaching will be done on this Instagram account. So I offer 15-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions, and 60-minute sessions. So if you order 15-minute session, you will get my undivided attention for 15 minutes. So if you order a 3 o'clock to 3:15 session at like 3 o'clock, or a lot of the time I try to be a little bit earlier than that, like 2:59, 2:58, I'll message you and I'll say, hey, I'm ready for a session. Like, I'm so excited to help you, explain what's going on. And I always ask, explain your circumstances, explain what you're trying to manifest, explain the history, how long, like your history with manifesting this and the history with this person or this desire. And I'll basically ask for the information that I think I'm going to need to be able to efficiently help you the best. And the thing is, you are allowed to write all of this out before the session. Absolutely. I actually recommend this in like the little tiny little like description of like the coaching you get. I say, hey, like if you want to write out this before our session, do it. You can write out as much as you want. The only thing is the time it takes me to read it is in the time slot. So if you ordered 15 minutes and it took me 3 minutes to read it, then you have 12 minutes for me to reply. That's just how it works because some people will take advantage of that and they will send me a billion paragraphs, and I'm like, hey, this is in our timeline. Do you want me to read all those, or do you want to sum it up, or whatever is comfortable for you? Let me explain what happens in these different sessions. So I created a little bit of a fake story of like something that I get quite frequently, of just something that you might bring up in a session. So pretend I get a coaching session from someone and they message me and say, hey, I've been manifesting this for 6 months. I have an SP, me and him broke up and we ended on really bad terms. They said they didn't want to commit to me. They said that they were having issues in the relationship and now we're in no contact, but they are talking to someone else. So basically that, maybe you'll give a little bit more details, maybe you'll give a little bit of your doubts and your resistance or what worries you have. And in 15, 30, and 60 minutes, this is all going to play out a little bit differently because we have more time to go over it. So in the 15-minute session, if I was given this scenario, I would always start off with a little overview on manifesting of, hey, like, this is how manifestation works, just as a little refresher. And then I'll give you a kind of plan of action of, hey, here's where I want you to start. This is what I want you to do. Here's some affirmations, and things of that nature. This, if you're doing audios, this could probably be like 10-ish audios from you, and then maybe probably another 10-ish from me, depending on how long you send the audios of. But say like in a 15-minute session, I'd probably have enough time to give you the outline of, hey, you're going to want to first revise that this breakup never happened. Make sure that with revision, you are not going back to the old story, and explain that more in depth. And then I will tell you some affirmations that you can have in the mindset that you want to go into this with manifesting, things to be aware of, mindsets to be aware of, resistance to be aware of, so you don't go back to there. And then a lot of the time they have a bit of questions and like to clear things up and make sure they understand completely, and that would probably be the entire 15 minutes. Now, a 30-minute session for this exact thing, you go a little bit more in depth with the resistance and the really getting out of this mindset, like, because you have more time. Not that like we don't go over that in the 15-minute session, but we have more time to go in depth with it. So 30-minute sessions a lot of the time have more in depth on mindset and worries and resistance and things like that. If you come to me with a scenario and you're like, hey, these are my worries, here's my resistance, and you get a 15-minute session, yeah, that'd be perfectly fine. But it's really up to what you think you need in a session. Depending on how much history you have, how much doubts or how much worries or how much resistance you have towards a specific desire, really depends. But in a 30-minute session with this specific desire of, hey, SP, broke up, not in contact, talk to someone else, we would go over, again, the same thing where I talk about revision, because that's really the main point of this, revising the breakup, in-depth on revision of the breakup, in-depth on giving you affirmations, of course, and then we would dive more into the questions that you have about this. Like if you say, hey, I really struggle with this third party, can we talk about this more? We would be able to go in depth on that more. We would go in depth more on your specific mindset about it, how you're perceiving this, how you're expecting things to happen, working through the limiting beliefs that you have, and really tackling those types of things. Now, you can also get a 30-minute session if you want to talk about multiple desires and kind of just want a basic overview on all of those. There's no limit to how many desires you talk about. Just be mindful that the more desires you talk about, the less time we're going to have to go over each one of them. So if you get a 30-minute session and want to talk through desires, you get 10 minutes for each desire. Not necessarily. You can talk about one desire for 20 minutes and the other desires for 5, but you just have to be aware that it's up to you. You can divide your time the amount that you want. But a 60-minute session, this is a lot of the time done for people that have multiple desires or have a lot of history and resistance. My phone overheated. Oops, but I think I left off at 60-minute sessions. So 60-minute sessions are more for people that want multiple desires to go over or have a lot of resistance and history and past failures or things where it's like they don't have a great mindset around manifesting in general, or just someone that, hey, wants a really in-depth how to manifest this plan of action, like let's get this going, to go through all their questions, all of their stuff. That would be probably what you can go over in a 60-minute session. So going back to our specific example I had, in a 60-minute session, I would go pretty much as in-depth as I can about how you're going to manifest this. So what revision is, how revision works, how revising this is going to play out, your mindset around this, the mindset that you want to, how to live in the end effectively, how to make sure that you are going at it with the right mindset or perspective, things like that, and answering any of your questions and going over your resistance and the expectations that you hold and the perspective that you hold because of your history with it and things like that. Basically, each session just is the amount of in-depth that we can go into it. Obviously, with 15-minute session, I go in-depth as I absolutely can and give as much detail as I absolutely can, but obviously 15 minutes and 60 minutes is an insane amount of difference, and there's a lot of in-between where I can explain more in detail. And obviously, if you have a question on something in detail and it's only a 15-minute session, of course I'll answer it. But it really just depends, the time that you get, it really just depends on how much detail and explaining goes into it specifically. And also, just a quick thing, I don't do routines. So if you ask me, hey, can I get a daily routine? No, because I am a living in the end based coach, so I don't I'm not going to make you a routine, because all that you need to do is live in the end, and that is a mindset. I'm not going to give you a routine on how to have a mindset, if that makes sense. I'll give you a plan of action, like, hey, here's what you're going to want to do, but day to day is up to you. You got to figure that out on your own and figure out what works for you, because I can't give you a daily plan, because you're different than me, and I'm different than you, and you're different than everyone else, and things work differently for everyone. Like, if I gave you a routine and told you to visualize 3 times a day, which you don't have to do, that's just a hypothetical, but you hate visualizing, you're not going to like that routine. So the routine is based up to you, and you have to figure out your daily routine and what works best for you and what you prefer to do. So now, what type of session is for you? A 15-minute session, I wrote it down to get it down. 15 minutes is best for people that want just a little bit of guidance, and basically just a plan of action. Like, hey, here's what I need to do. Here's what I got to work on, some affirmations, things like that. And just like being on the right track to getting your desire if you're a little bit lost or just want some reassurance that you're doing it right. 15-minute sessions are great for that. 30-minute sessions are for people that want more in-depth on a specific plan, more explanation on how things work, what things to do, what things to avoid, going through resistance, going through worries, going through doubts, things like that. Just more in depth than just a basic overview plan. And then 60 minutes is best for people that need a lot of help with specific desires or have multiple desires that they want to go over. And this will be for people that want a very in-depth explanation on what it is, how it works, and what to do. And a lot of the time we have leftover time in 60 minutes, sometimes in 30, where you get to ask anything. You can ask anything throughout the entire session, and I would love to answer it. So 60 minutes is probably would probably be best for a lot of people that have a lot of questions, that are really prone to wanting to know all the details and things like that, or just people that have multiple things that they want to go over. So that's kind of how my sessions work. Now, I also offer replies. I do 3, 6, 9, and 12 replies. They are done on my coaching account as well, through Instagram DM and voice note. And basically, however many replies that you order or purchase is the amount of replies that you get from me. And in between replies takes about 2 to 14 days for me to respond. So you will order on my coaching website, and you will get into my coaching account. You will request my coaching account, and I'll accept you within the next couple days. And then I'll message you and be like, hey, you have this amount of replies. Tell me your situation. Let me help you. And you'll basically go in depth on what your situation is. And then in the next 2 to 14 days, I will reply to that. And all of my reply is one reply. Even if it's 10 paragraphs, even if it's 3 paragraphs, even if it's 5 paragraphs and 6 voice notes, it's one reply. And then that just keeps going on until your replies run out, which replies don't ever expire unless I stop coaching indefinitely, which I'll let you guys know if I do that. You can message me any time of the day, whenever you want. And the only thing I will say is, please be mindful of me, and just aware that, hey, it might take me a little bit longer to get to your reply if I have a lot of people in. And also, please be aware that I don't have a limit to how many replies that you send me. Meaning how many messages I don't have a limit to how many messages you send me. So you could send me 50 messages and that would still count as one reply to me replying it. But please be mindful of that, because I don't set a limit to that. I do not want you to abuse that, because it will get to a point where I probably will be like, hey, I'm not really comfortable coaching you anymore if you kind of use that and send me 50 messages a day. Okay, so be mindful about it. Be aware. You can message me every single day, multiple times a day. I do not mind that, but when it gets to an extreme where you're messaging me like 50 to 100 times a day, please do not do that. The door, because my phone shut off for the 2nd time from overheating, so I have to hurry up. But I basically left off saying there's no limit to the amount of replies that you send, but there is a limit to the specific desires per reply. So 3 desires max for replies. So, well, for 1 reply. So if that makes any sense, if you get 3 replies, you get to ask me up to 9 desires for help with. But I limit to that because some people will get 3 replies and then ask me for help on like 15 different desires at once for 1 reply, and I'm like, whoa. So just space them out. 1 reply, the max amount you can do is 3. So if you ask me appearance change, money, SP, that's 1 reply. And then the next reply you can do job, grades, and self-concept. Like, it's just, I try to limit that. I'm not super strict on that, but I will like clock it if it happens frequently. So replies are for people that more need help on the journey and need help. So with sessions, it's kind of like, hey, I need help with this specific thing. I'll get a session, let's talk about it, and then if you need more help, you get another session. But with replies, you can space them out. So if you're like, I kind of need help and I have a few questions along the way, or I want to be able to message you while I'm on my journey, that's when replies are used and best for people. So if you are someone that manifests an SP, but you know that you struggle a little bit with mindset and you just kind of need some help along the way, you can get replies, and then I'll be able to help you along the way. But just remember, these sessions are immediate. So like if you make a session, you will get that in that time. Maybe not immediate because you can schedule out, but like, do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the time people get sessions within like a couple days when they need the help. Well, replies, it can take me up to 2 weeks to reply to you. So just be aware of that. But that is basically my coaching. So for the sale, I am doing 50% off. So my original prices are here, and so 50% off of that would be this, and these are my prices from April 18th to I believe the 24th. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it on the screen. But these are my prices on my website, and I believe it starts tomorrow by the time I'm uploading this. This sale is for you, and I'm excited to help you out and get more people and help more people out with this sale, and I really hope that happens. But that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions about my replies or my sessions or my coaching, comment them down below. I would love to help you out. But that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, watching this video helped you manifest. Say it with me. Watching this video helped me manifest. Watching this video helped me manifest, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.